This is 6 News.
It's the last weekend to get those final Christmas errands done, but icy roads could keep people home. The weather is our top story this evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Emerald Morrow. Lauren Thompson has the night off. Freezing rain and icy roadways are expected tonight through tomorrow morning, and it could affect your weekend travel plans. Let's head over to the Weather Center where Emily Walls has your first look at the forecast. Emily?
Well, it's always nice to get a jump start on your holiday plans, your holiday travels, traveling around the state, whatever it may be. But this is not the weekend to do so, as we're expecting even more freezing rain and very hazardous roadways. Let's take a look at our weather headlines. That's what we're talking about tonight. Freezing rain continuing tonight into our day tomorrow, making for some very dangerous and icy roadways for this weekend. And it's finally going to transition from a wintry mix over to some snow showers by the time we make it into Sunday evening.
The entire viewing area is being affected by a winter storm this evening, and that could make for some dangerous conditions as we wrap up the weekend. Let's check in with Emily Walls for your first look at weather. Emily?
Well, we're dealing with dangerous conditions, to say the least, for us tonight here in mid-Michigan. We're dealing with a winter storm bringing everything from rain to freezing rain to snow to right here mid-Michigan. But we do have a couple more hours of this before it's all over.
Thanks, Emily. Well, that freezing rain is making it hard for drivers to get around tonight. Fortunately, we have not gotten word of any major accidents, but police are urging motorists to stay off the road unless it's an emergency. Well, icy roads aren't the only weather-related problems we're seeing tonight. The freezing rain has also brought down utility lines, leaving many across mid-Michigan without power. The hardest hit area is in DeWitt at this hour, with more than 1,500 outages.
Thousands of utility crews are working to restore power to customers across the state. The ice storm of 2013, our top story at 6. Thanks for joining us. I'm Greg Adeline. Jane Aldrich is off tonight. Warming shelters are opening their doors to almost 200,000 customers across the state without power tonight. We begin our team coverage of the ice storm and its effects tonight with a look at the number of customers in the dark here in mid-Michigan. The map shows outages across the area. Consumers Energy says almost 14,000 customers in Ingham County are without power. 12,500 customers in Clinton County are also without electricity. And if you're without power and will be for at least the next few days, many local warming centers are opening their doors to make sure you have a place to keep warm. Many mid-Michigan warming centers offer guests a place to escape the cold, take a warm shower. Some even provide meals. Officials say they expect the centers to become more crowded as the week continues and families remain without power. To help finding a place to stay, or you're dealing with power outages, your first thought might be to call 911. But officials at Lansing Police say that's actually not the best way to get help dealing with non-emergency outage situations.
For update for your power outage or update on the traffic locations that the lights are down, we're asking that people don't call 911.
And if you have trees or branches that fall in your yard but don't damage your home, a local insurance agent says that you'll most likely have to pay for the cleanup without the help of your home insurance policy.
A lot of it is going to be damage or structural damage.
Emerald Morrow spent the day with one family fighting to stay warm.
Well, we got to keep your toes warm, buddy. So let's put your shoes back on.
Venivia Jones is without power, and it's been that way since early Sunday morning.
You're welcome.
And with twin 1-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a teenager.
We checked in with officials at several hotels in our area who tell us that they're all booked for the night because of the storm. Most stores across mid-Michigan are sold out of generators right now, but we just got word from the folks at the Menards on Lansing's west side, right there on Saginaw Highway, that they're receiving a shipment of 100 6,000-watt gas-powered generators tonight. Many warming centers don't allow pets, and that's why Ingham County Animal Control opened its doors to help. Workers say if you lost power, your pet should be okay at home, even if it's cold, but if you are worried, the Mason Shelter is housing pets at no charge. And with so many people and pets in the dark, energy companies are working around the clock to fix the power outages across our state. And those companies are bringing in people from out of state to help. Lansing's Board of Water and Light called in crews from across Michigan. Meanwhile, Consumers Energy has people working from as far away as Washington, D.C.
This is 6 News.
They're giving up their holidays, their families are sacrificing so that power can be restored to our customers.
And we certainly appreciate that. Families in mid-Michigan wait for power to come back on as thousands of utility crews work through the holidays. We have an outage tracker map from Consumers Energy's website. Take a look. You can see the colors on the map that actually show the estimates of customers without power. 6 News spoke with officials at the Lansing Board of Water and Light, and they say crews have been hard at work to restore power, and more customers are seeing their lights come back on. 2 people were hospitalized this morning after a generator filled their home with gas. Emerald Morrow has more on what happened and how you can stay safe when trying to stay warm.
It's been a very busy morning for Lansing firefighters who rescued 2 people poisoned by carbon monoxide here in the 1300 block of Ionia Street.
This is what's left of that home on Cambridge Road near West Mount Hope. 6 News spoke to the owner this morning. He says he lost power this weekend and started a couple fires in his fireplace yesterday afternoon to stay warm.
Thousands of crews are working up to 16-hour days to fix those outages. Savannah Ciavata has more from officials and those making the best of a bad situation.
It's a totally different experience.
Tammy Campbell isn't used to spending her Christmas in a warming shelter.
Normally we have hot chocolate and our new Christmas pajamas watching movies before bed.
Thousands of people across mid-Michigan are facing a 5th night without power. Consumers Energy says over 73,000 customers are still in the dark tonight. The Lansing Board of Water and Light says 4,100 of its customers are still without power. And the areas that you see listed right there on the screen are some of those locations where BWL says crews are working to restore power. BWL says it hopes to have power restored by to most customers, I should say, by the weekend. And they're working long hours to make that happen. Emerald Morrow has the latest.
As you can see, BWL crews are out and about, and officials say they've been working 16-hour days.
Tree limbs that snapped under the weight of the ice are still in yards and on the roads. If you live in Lansing, the city says that you should move your tree debris to the curbside for pickup.
Many people are angry not only that they don't have power yet, but also because of the lack of communication between Board of Water and Light and its customers. And one person who shares that opinion is East Lansing Mayor Nathan Triplett.
From my perspective, the communication from the Board of Water and Light has been entirely inadequate.
And we did speak to BWL's general manager about that lack of communication with its customers. He acknowledges that the company did have some shortcomings, and he says his customers let him know about it.
We have really heard loud and clear from our customers.
So we wanted to know today, as a general whole, how do you think crews have done? Carrie Haynes writes, consumers did a fantastic job. I'm so thankful they called in help from other areas and states.
Hasn't been easy for those folks still in the dark, going on 7 days now. They're frustrated. Today, a group of people got together to rally in protest of our local energy companies. 6 News reporter Savannah Ciavata was there. She spoke to many people who say simply they've had enough.
The signs are apparent. The people of mid-Michigan are fed up.
It seems like we're almost forgotten out here.
40,000 customers of Lansing Board of Water and Light lost power after that storm, and thousands have spent more than a week without electricity.
We go now to Nick Perot, who's live at the City Council offices.
Well, that's right, Greg, Jane. Really, when it comes to the public, it will be their chance to first and formally address BWL officials.
The outrage over the outages also carried into East Lansing, where those who still don't have power headed to one of 3 BWL walk-in centers. Our Shelby Miller was at one of them. She spoke to customers who say they just want answers.
Lined up and fed up with the Lansing Board of Water and Light.
We're supposed to be able to have electricity, and it's supposed to be reliable. How is it reliable when I've relied on a generator for 9 days, and where have they been? Nowhere.
We announced that all customers will have power available to them by the end of tomorrow.
Another promise and a midnight deadline from BWL CEO Peter Lark.
It is day 10 of that ice storm power outage, and tonight hundreds are still without power in mid-Michigan. As of 4 o'clock this afternoon, the Board of Water and Light told us they had 400 customers without power. That was down from 650 this morning.
Today, Board of Water and Light put these 40-page plans on their website outlining the procedure in case of an emergency where there are significant outages.
And Joe Khalil spoke to a few people in Lansing about how it feels to be among the last to get the power back.
If you drive past Rachel Rotford's home in Lansing, it's pretty hard to miss her pointed message for the Board of Water and Light. After all, she spray painted it in the snow.
At local hospitals, in addition to treating over 24 patients for weather-related injuries following the storm, physicians have also been seeing at least 2 to 3 people every day come into the ER with carbon monoxide poisoning.